Hi guys and dolls. Today I'm reviewing the Physicians Formula Shimmer Strips collection. I'm specifically doing like the Shimmer Strips mascaras, the Shimmer Strips gel liners, and the Pop Eyes, or Pop Your Eye color ones. They have another thing of palettes where they're like tame colors, so yeah, not reviewing those. And another disclaimer at the very beginning of this. Physicians Formula did send me this entire range. However, I actually purchased some of the products independently, like previously, so yeah, take that or leave that however you want. Some of these things were purchased by me, some things were sent by the company. As you'll be able to tell by the end of this video, that pretty much has nothing to do with how I'm going to review that, because that's just how I roll. I'm not going to say something's great if it sucks. So anyway, I'm just gonna dive right in because this video might get kind of long since it's a lot of stuff to review. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the gel liners because that was like my first experience with the Shimmer Strips collection. I bought the green and the brown, or no, yeah, the green and the brown eyes ones back in, I want to say, sometime this spring. I don't really remember. And I made a video about it and it was, you know, a lot of you really liked it and I really like these. Now that I even have these are still my favorites, so go figure these are the ones I bought. I think that overall the gel liners are pretty good. Let me just kind of explain to you the breakdown. In each one there's a black at the bottom that has like a corresponding shimmer color. So like the green has green shimmer, the blue has blue shimmer, hazel has pink, and brown has purple. The brown eyes, the blue eyes, and the hazel all have brown as well. The green eye is the only one that doesn't have a neutral other than black, so it has green and purple. This is my absolute favorite of the whole bunch. The purple has a purple, a brown, and a black. The blue has a blue, a brown, and a black. And the hazel has a brown, I think this is technically a pinky purpley kind of color, and a black. Overall, these are pretty good. I think the fact that you get like 3 gel liners, I think it's $11 or something, is pretty awesome. The only semi-downside is that they're kind of dry. So that's kind of a bummer. Dry gel liner is just not cute. Like some days they feel dry and some days they don't. I think it has to do with like what I do with my skincare and stuff. So I'll personally, this is Ben Nye liquid set. I just put in a little dropper bottle to make it easier for me to use it. I'll put a little bit of this over it to make it shinier and so it's not as dry feeling. The one thing I do want to mention is if you do use the Ben Nye liquid set, you're going to want to clean your brush like immediately because it'll make your brush really hard and stiff over time. Yeah. I learned that the hard way, so learn from my mistakes so you don't make them yourself. The final verdict on these is I think they're pretty awesome. My absolute favorites are still Butterfingers. Oh no, it like split apart. As I was saying, these are still, you know, these are probably, and for me it's kind of a toss-up between these and the mascara for the favorites of the collection. I think the mascaras are pulling us just slightly ahead. I think these are really great and I would totally repurchase them, especially the purple and the green. They're my favorite. And then followed by the blue. The hazel's my least favorite, honestly. Like, if I purchased these, I would probably take this one back. It's not my cup of tea. Alright, so then we come to the mascaras. There's a green, there's a blue, there's purple, and there is a pink. These are hazel and brown eyes, blue eyes, and green eyes. Each one of these has a black side with shimmer, corresponding shimmer. You can tell what shimmer it has by what color the handle is. And although it's obviously not that exact color, but you get the idea. And then the bottom side is the corresponding like colored mascara. So there's a green, a blue, a purple, and a pink. Now the black side is really fantastic. I love the brush, I love the formula, the application. I found that it doesn't really smudge on me, and trust me, pretty much every mascara I try smudges on me. That's why I usually use like latex-based tubing mascaras. That's a discussion for another time. I think I've talked about this with you guys before. They're a miracle for me. However, they don't usually give me that really lush, full lash look, and they don't usually coat like each individual one, and you really can't layer that well with them. Anyway, this is fantastic. This is actually my favorite mascara at the moment. In love, you guys. Now the black side I think has a better formula and it has a better brush than the colored side, but that's not to say the colored mascara side isn't great. It's just not quite as good as the black side. Overall, these are my absolute favorites. To me, these are like the star of the whole collection. Now, I had previously purchased the hazel, and even though I really liked it, the pink side didn't completely float my boat just because pink mascara blonde or blue eyes, fair skin, it can look a little sickly unless you pile on a lot of black around it. Honestly, I kept it just for the black side because I liked it that much. I also want to mention that colored mascara, that if you're not interested in the black mascara because you already have a perfect mascara, the fact that you do get a color mascara with a black one, you know, for like around $9 is what I paid. That's awesome. So I think these are great. This is my absolute favorites. These are the star of the whole collection for me. And would I repurchase these? Hell yeah. Alrighty, so now we come to the eyeshadow palettes. This one's gonna be a little long. Let's see if I can get all these on my hand. So each one of the eyeshadow palettes has a white duochrome shadow, which you can see there at the top. And then it has a variety of bright colors that are meant to entice the eye. Some of the shadows in here are really, really pigmented. Like this teal here is like out of this world. I'm in love with that color. And like the golds in this are just absolutely gorgeous. This yellow right here really tickles my pickle right there. You know, there's the wide variety of colors. There's, you know, there's purples, there's teals, there's blues, there's yellows, you know, there's lots of colors that aren't necessarily common in drugstore makeup. And I don't want to really harp on this fact because the makeup that you choose to buy is totally your own choice. I personally try to buy things that are cruelty-free, not tested on animals, and it's really difficult to find bright colored makeup at the drugstore that's not tested on animals. Okay, so I do want to talk about some of the areas of opportunity, if you will, with these, with regards to these palettes. They have no textural difference. Well, yeah, well they do. They're all shimmer shadows, but some of them are more metallic, some of them are more shimmer, some of them have a better, like, they have more binder in the product, so where it like sticks to your eyeshadow better, or to your eyelid. Your eyeshadow sticks to your eyeshadow better. Get it together, Cora. Some of them have like a, I don't know how to explain it, like not like stickier texture, not drier, but just an overall texture that reminds me more of like my high-end eyeshadows, where it sticks to the eye better and everything. Yeah, my point is that there's no textural difference. There's no mattes, there's no satins. These are all shimmer or high frost. So for me, that's a major letdown because I like textural differences, and I've seen lots of other companies at the drugstore come up with palettes that do have textural differences. A lot more drugstore companies are getting into like the matte shadow arena. So yeah, very, very disappointed to not see any textural difference. I think that the shadows in these palettes are kind of lacking in terms of binders. Binders are like binding agents that help the shadow stick to your eyelid. Oh, I said it again! Okay. The golds in this palette, for instance, well, they're actually the reason why I like this palette. They have a lot of fallout, and the shimmer in it is very, very small particles, so even when I use like a baby wipe or like a MAC wipe or something to get it off, it's still like little bits of particles were still stuck in my skin. Once I put my foundation on and stuff, I really couldn't tell. Also, the way that these are shaped, they're all just like striped together, and all the eyeshadows are all, you know, in together, so it's really difficult to like just get one color. Now if you use a really small brush, it's pretty easy, but I personally, like, it's just a habit for me, I guess, to like swirl my brush, and just how that's how I load up my brush, so that was a little weird. Some of the colors are pigmented and some of them are really, really sheer, and when you see my swatches in a minute, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. It's just there's like a really big gap between some of them. Some of them are like this one right here, this dark blue is like, who's your mama? And you know, like this one's really, this gold right next to it, totally pigmented. And then we get to like that, now admittedly those shades of blue really aren't like my fantasy eyeshadows either, but they're just not that pigmented. Also, I want to mention there's tons of high quality, not necessarily expensive, but there's tons of high quality duplicates for these. So if you're like me and you have an extensive makeup collection, you probably don't need these. You probably have things in your collection that could dupe these. In fact, a few months ago I actually bought the blue palette and I returned it, but I was hoping to avoid buying MAC's Atlantic Blue, so I was hoping that this blue in here would be like totally awesome and bright and everything, and it wasn't. It was just very tame, and the golds in this, while they're gorgeous, it just wasn't enough for me to like keep it when I purchased it, because I already have stuff like that. I already have plenty of colors in that same kind of color category, like from Beauty from the Earth and whatnot. Again, not even that expensive, just better quality. Yeah, I've returned this. I'm happy to have it now, but it's, you know, if it comes into the question of would I repurchase this, if, you know, obviously I returned it once, so probably not. So now we've kind of come to a bit of a downer in this tutorial, in this video, in this, what am I doing, review. So we've kind of come to a little bit of a downer here where I'm like, these palettes suck. And I want to kind of bring that back because I don't think that they completely suck. Two things. If you don't have a lot of eyeshadows, these are fantastic. You can play with color. They're relatively inexpensive considering, you know, how much like a high quality eyeshadow costs one of these. I believe these are $11 at the drugstore, so they're really not that expensive. You know, if you consider the fact that you're getting 9 colors, each one has that duochrome. The duochrome in all of them is totally awesome. There's always a couple of choice colors. I'd say that my least favorite is the Brown Eyes one, simply because these 5 shadow, well, actually I guess it's just these 4. Actually, it's just these 3. The pink, the orange, and this, like, not that great. I forgot what I'm going with this. You just want to experiment with color, and you just want to try some things, and you don't want to, like, invest a whole lot. I think that these are great. I know for a fact that if you use, like, a white sticky base, the shadows are just completely gonna pop. And that's true with anything. Anything inexpensive or anything lower quality, like for instance like the 88 palette. In my opinion, a lot of people really love that, but in my opinion, like the 88 palette, the 120 palette, they need like something sticky behind them to make them oomph. And even then, for me personally, like they photograph really bad and they fade on me fast, so that's why I don't use those in my videos, in case you were wondering. So ultimately my recommendation for the palettes is I would probably not repurchase these. Basic roundup at the end here. Gel liners. Definitely love these. Definitely would repurchase the purple and the green without even batting an eye. Mascaras are a do. These are my absolute favorite from the whole thing. I think they're fantastic and I love them. The palettes, my absolute favorite, and the one that I recommend is the green. The purples in it really don't tickle my pickle, but overall this is a really good quality palette. And this teal, I'm sorry, I love that teal. And I like the Hazel Eyes one because it has like some pretty plummy browns and stuff, but this yellow, if you don't have anything like that, and you know, if you want a high quality dupe, Ben Nye's Sun Yellow is pretty awesome. One last final word on this collection, and I think a lot of you have actually mentioned this in the tutorials that I've done over the last few weeks. The whole point of this collection is supposedly like to pop your eye color. In my experience, putting blue near blue eyes does not enhance your eye color. It does the exact opposite. It usually washes my eyes out, or it makes them look really light in color, which I personally don't like. I want that blue tone to come out more. And same thing for green eyes. Green doesn't enhance green, it kind of washes it out. So with that said, you know, obviously if you have green eyes, you can use the purple products. The green is just fun, and the green is my favorite across the board. Favorite in the mascara, favorite in the gel liners, and favorite in the palettes. So yeah, I think I've talked enough. I think my voice is kind of going now. And I do have tutorials for all these, so even though I kind of, you know, talked bad on them, I will show you how to make them pop and everything. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys soon, and my name is Cora. Why am I telling you my name? Like you don't know. Alright.